Welcome to Mick and the Phatman, the official COVID booster podcast, delivering immunity through life, music, and everything. And now, here's the Phatman.
Well, thank you very much for Nuala, our favourite dairy girl. And that's right, folks. Welcome to Mick and the Phatman, episode number 2, series number 2 in 2022. And as we've already said, folks, this is your COVID immunity podcast. More research is piling in all the time and showing that listening to this podcast in full will give the same level of immunity to COVID as drinking warm water in a hot bath, is the same as your natural immunity, or exposing yourself to the radiation of the sun, and even a mix containing amphetamines, cocaine and nicotine, which is on sale through the dark web, so get it while you can. It's guaranteed, but so is this podcast, folks. So save yourself the money. Listen to 2 episodes and get your double dose. Listen to 3 episodes and you've got a booster, giving yourself unrivaled protection against all current and future variants of COVID. Mick and I have installed ourselves in the Fat Cave, which is positively pressured to ensure that we can keep broadcasting this important community information. G'day, Mick. How you going? It's week 4. How you coping in the Fat Cave?
Mate, I'm still loving the Fat Cave. I must say, though, I'm a little concerned that the more you go into the cave, it's got some peculiar lichen growing up on the wall, and I'm just wondering if that will be able to be processed into some form of antibiotic, and maybe that can be used as a COVID protection as well.
Look, I've been doing a bit of work on it. I've had the test tubes out. I've had the science experiments going. I'm boiling it. I'm isolating it. I'm looking at it. I'm running it through the spectrometer. And I'm seeing all sorts of interesting stuff. But I'm thinking that if it doesn't cure COVID, it'll certainly cure rabies. There's not a lot of it going around anymore, I know, but it's going to cure rabies. And as far as I can tell, syphilis. You just get some of this gear that I'm producing, whack that up your old fella, and I'll tell you now the syphilis is gone. So it's great news for those who are mad rooters. Isn't it, mate?
So I would believe.
Yep. So fantastic, mate. We've dragged out the book that I've got for Christmas off the missus. 1001 albums you must hear before you die. Edited by Robert Dimery, 1921. Page 347 fell open the other day, and it's Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks from 1975. Dylan produced it himself. The art is by Ron Corro, and it's a little corker. What did you think of the album, mate?
Mate, that's one of my favourite Dylan albums, and as far as Dylan albums go, it's the first one, given our age, it's the first one that I got exposed to an extended piece of work as an album rather than just a couple of Dylan songs. So I loved it and still love it.
Dylan is an interesting fellow in the Australian charts. He had 11 singles in the Australian charts. The first one in 1970, which was Wigwam. I don't remember Wigwam. Do you remember Wigwam?
No, I don't.
Knocking on Heaven's Door, Hurricane. Anyway, the biggest hit that he had was Hurricane. Got to number 7 in 1975. So he had 11 singles in the top 40 charts of Australia. However, he had 27 top albums in the charts, which is really interesting. And I think that's the measure of the man. Really, he's not your great singles fellow. And Blood on the Tracks is what we're talking about today. Got to number 4. Was in the charts for 24 weeks. So it was quite the album.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful album. And the style, it got mixed reviews when it was released. And I really must say that sometimes I believe that reviewers feel they've got to say something controversial just to merit their paycheck. That if they just say, "Oh, this is the new thing by Bob Dylan and it's pretty damn good," people will say, "Well, so what? I could have come to that conclusion myself." So they've got to slag it. I read a review the other day, totally off topic, and it was a review from the early 70s about "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah,
and it was Melody Maker, which said pretty much that this album is rubbish. Pink Floyd on autopilot. It's nothing new, nothing that they haven't done before, and save your money. It probably won't. It'll probably be a success, despite what I say. But I think it's rubbish. And I thought, you wanker!
It's one of my favourite albums.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's one of my favourites. Yeah. So look, back on Blood on the Tracks though. Kicks off with "Tangled Up in Blue." What a fantastic song that is.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And one of the big songs on there was Lily Rose and the Jack of Hearts. 8 minutes and 54 worth of song. It's a rambling story. It's a great song. Yeah. But it's one of those, I don't know, was songs starting to get longer back in those days, or were they? I think they were. There was some people putting out longer songs.
It was that emphasis on albums.
That's right.
That started in the late 60s. Rather than singles. So, you go from 66-ish onwards. The Beatles songs started to get a little bit longer, not too much. They weren't big protagonists in that thing, but there was lots of beginnings of progressive music, other stuff where people wanted to show their chops and show that they could play a little bit more than the 3-minute song, chorus, middle eight, chorus. Thanks very much.
And I'm sure they would have been doing. I'm sure the record companies weren't overly excited about a long song.
No singles.
You don't make money out of an 8-minute song on the radio.
Well, you go on a couple of. In fact, around this time, we talked about it last year. Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's right.
Every pundit on the planet was saying, "Well, that's stupid. It's not going to be a success. It's too long." And this is in 1975, same year. And people saying it's too long, it can't work. And Queen said, "Stuff you, it will." And they made it work. And this is similar to what Dylan's done here. His storytelling narrative style. He's done some songs that are possibly better, and I do love "Hurricane" as a protest song.
Yeah,
with the Scarlett Rivera's violin. That's just wonderful. But I don't think he's done too much better than on this particular album. You mentioned Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts. That's a great story. As is "Tangled Up in Blue." It's almost like a treatment for a movie, each of these stories.
It's interesting. I've just flicked over a couple of pages in me 1001 Best Albums, and there is Night at the Opera. And surprisingly, Bohemian Rhapsody is mere 5 minutes, 55 seconds.
Oh, it's a short. Not worth talking about. But look at the one next to it. "Wish You Were Here."
"Wish You Were Here." Shine on Your Crazy Diamond kicks off at 13 minutes.
Yeah.
And the reprise kicks off at 12 minutes. So, there's a couple of long ones in there.
Yeah, exactly.
But, "Shelter from the Storm" is another awesome song on this album.
Yeah, "Come in," she said, "I'll give you shelter from the storm."
Indeed,
and you don't want them to stop. His economy of words and the way he uses words, well, obviously to tell a story, that's what words are for, and he uses them perfectly. He puts stories together that you're interested in hearing. There's no laboured verses, there's no laboured rhymes or anything like that. It's simply words to tell a story, and an interesting story.
Now, interestingly, the final sentence of the description about this album in the book says, "If you listen to only one Dylan album, or you want something to blame for Dire Straits, this is it." And it's true, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah. Look, we could get hammered, and one of the reasons we haven't done a whole episode on Bob Dylan is that there's many fanatical people who know a lot more about Dylan than we do.
That's for sure.
But I would have to agree that of everything I've heard over my entire life of Bob Dylan, there's nothing as a complete work that exceeds this one.
No, I reckon it's a great album. I've always been a huge fan of this album, and have it in my had it when I had an album collection. Had the actually I had the CD, if the truth be known. And actually, no, I had a double album. which was this and I can't remember. There was 2 albums in there.
Desire, was it?
It was Desire.
Yeah. They did double it up later on.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Let's milk some more money out of that.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I had.
Which is a fantastic, probably one of the best double acts you'll get.
That's a great double act. Loved it. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, the reviews of it, the style of the album, much of it's acoustic. And it's a dink acoustic style. And his record company rejected it initially because they said it's too much going back to your pre-electric days.
Oh.
And I thought, get out of here. Yeah. Who are you talking to here?
Half of the world's Dylan fans will be excited. I would have thought.
That's right. You've got some sales here. So on release it got mixed reviews and you've got stuff in there. People called it typically shoddy, trashy practice takes. And that's what I loved about it. I thought, wow, there's no overproduction here.
It's interesting. I'm just reading. I should find out who wrote this review. The Omens were not brilliant. Dylan spent the early 70s making scrappy records. Yes, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, leaping from label to label and generally suggesting that he was not adapting too well to the new decade. To complete the chaos, his marriage was unravelling. You could expect only maudlin musings on love lost, as opposed to what he put out.
Yeah. Well, although much of that album is about love lost and how the protagonist in the song blew it.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Tangled Up in Blue.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the fellow who did the review, but I can't, so it doesn't really matter.
When he was preparing the songs for this album, he played them for his friends, and obviously all the musicians in that of that era sort of hung around together and played and jammed with each other. So a couple of his friends, Dave Crosby, Graham Nash, and Stephen Stills. So Dylan got everyone together. They had a few drinks or other assistants, and Dylan plays the songs for them. And they're all, and Stills, when Dylan left the room, Stills said, he's a good songwriter, but he's no musician.
Mind you, Stephen Stills was a pretty good musician, I must admit.
he was, but that's a bit of a harsh call.
Yeah. Interestingly, the guy who wrote the review I was just reading bits of was Bruno McDonald.
Bruno.
Who edited this, but he also edited, he wrote Air Guitar, A User's Guide and Rock Connections.
Oh, my goodness.
An air guitar guide. So that's handy.
Well, it's useful. That's the particular musical instrument on which I excel.
Yeah, so many of us do.
Yeah.
And, in fact, I was pumping out a bit of music the other day on the air guitar. I was sounding very good.
That's great. Yeah.
I can't remember who I was training to be a good guitarist like myself. But anyway, it was...
I certainly like the way you do air bass. You know, that finger plucking style you've got. That's really very good.
That's it. I copy the guy out of My Sex.
Yeah. I can see that.
He bends over a little bit and he's got those big lanky fingers.
Yeah.
And he's got I don't have the big lanky fingers, but anyway.
No, you can't have everything.
No, I can't have everything. Anyway, so we do love that album. Now, let's move on just a little bit. It's down there, I can see it. It's between your legs. Drag it out from between your legs. It's bouncing.
Can you hear it? It's jumping around on the floor.
If you leave that there much longer, you're going to get half a horn. I'd get it out as quick as you can. What do you got in the Glaybite school bag, mate?
John Cale.
Johnny Cale. Good old Johnny boy.
Not Johnny. Most definitely not a Johnny. Anyway, John Cale, and look, I've got to make an apology. This is likely to sound even more like fanboy adulation than I usually do.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he is. So I will try to bring him down from some of that because...
That will be unlike you.
I'm not quite the fanboy Mick is, even remotely. So...
Well, that's true enough.
Let's hit... Who the hell is John Cale?
Who the hell is John Cale? John Cale is... British musician, a Welsh musician actually, and he's very, very picky about identifying himself as Welsh. He's a British performer. He sings, plays multi-instruments, viola, your favourite.
I love his viola.
Yeah, piano, guitar. He produces, and he was a founder member of the Velvet Underground, but the bulk of his career has been solo.
And he wears a dress every now and again.
Oh, who doesn't? I mean, we all get out there for a bit of skirt action on occasion.
Bob, a bit of Libby on and a skirt. You're anybody's.
That's right.
Fantastic.
Unlike pretty much anybody that we talk about, I've actually met Cale a few times. And despite his fearsome reputation, I've always found him to be very interesting and very approachable.
How did you meet John Cale?
Well,
dare I ask?
I've flown to places to meet him. In the early 80s, I rang his manager in New York.
Did you?
I did.
Okay, good on you.
Yeah. And I said, okay, when's he playing? And booked a whole trip to the US around a couple of nights in New York where he was playing at a club called The Bottom Line.
Really?
Yeah. And his manager was really cool and organised tickets for me at the door. And it was at The Bottom Line, which was a nightclub / venue. Organised a table reasonably close to the stage.
Is it a small venue? Or?
Yes. Yeah. Not the Horden Pavilion. Yeah, not
Horden Pavilion. What's definitely?
No, I mean big and small at the same time. It's not a theatre.
Yeah, right.
It was very much a little like the basement in Sydney that has. You go down. It's got tables. You can stand up around the
nice
back.
Nice vibe to it.
Nice vibe to it, and a good place to see people. I thought it was great. It's unfortunately closed. It closed about 10 or 12 years ago.
All right.
As these things do.
They do.
Things happen, yeah. So I flew to New York and went backstage at the end of the show and met him, was introduced to him, everything.
Fantastic.
And he was lovely. He probably meets fans all the time. You think, and someone like Lou Reed would tell him to get stuffed and I hate you. Did you buy my last album? Why? That sort of thing. But Cale was, and I must confess, the first time I met him, I must have been, sort of totally starstruck.
Yes. Did you say anything audible?
I think I did, but nothing terribly profound.
Yes, right.
Yeah. So he didn't fit. You've heard horror stories, and I've read lots of articles and things about never meet your heroes, because you'll have your illusions shattered. Yes. But I couldn't say that was the case with John Cale. I found him to be really great. But I did ask. I cringe about it now for nearly 40 years. Which of yours is your favourite album?
Oh, Jesus. No. Did he answer?
Yeah, my next one.
Oh, nice work.
Yeah. Nice parry.
Work.
Yeah,
nice
very,
work.
very well done.
Well done.
The following morning, we found out that he was playing in Rochester in upstate New York.
Yep.
So we jumped on a train, Amtrak, and got the train.
How far away is Rochester from New York?
Oh, a few hours.
Okay.
On a train.
Oh, there you go.
And good train too, or was then. I don't know what they're like now. I haven't been.
What year was this again?
This is 83.
Okay.
Yeah. And went to Rochester, and he was playing in a nightclub called Scorgie's. So look, and they were so friendly. I went to Scorgie's and met the owner of Scorgie's, who, while we were waiting for Cale, took me around to all the other nightclubs in Rochester, and we saw who was playing. So I saw Do Re Mi.
Do Re Mi,
who I'd just seen in Sydney just before we flew out. Yeah,
I used to love Do Re Mi.
Yeah, they were great. And lead singer from Traffic, Dave Mason.
Oh
yeah, and a few other people, and it was terrific. So we came back to and saw the Hoodoo Gurus.
Oh, the Hoodoo Gurus in Rochester.
In Rochester, New York. Yeah.
Right. And so let's just go back. Tell me about the concert you saw him in Rochester. What was in Scorgie's? Was that a good concert?
It was great. It was
solo.
Yes. Yeah. Very much so. And bit of piano, bit of guitar.
Okay. And a bit of viola.
So. Whilst it was solo, he did have some backing musicians.
Okay.
He had Dave Young on drums and Dave Lichtenstein on drums and Dave Young on lead guitar, and they were his core band for 3 or 4 years.
Not Lichtenstein the artist.
Not Lichtenstein the artist. No,
because that would have been great.
That would have, yeah, and I could have got him to autograph the album.
And did you meet him again in Rochester?
Yes, I did. Yeah. We actually had dinner.
Really?
At Howard Johnson's.
I don't know who Howard Johnson is.
Howard Johnson's. It's a hotel. It's a mid-range hotel chain that has a mid-range restaurant. Howard Johnson's.
What did you have? What did you have to eat?
Couldn't tell you.
Come on.
I've got a lot of the details, but not all of them. He was very interested, being Welsh. He was very interested. This was the time of Thatcher. He was very interested in the miners' strike, which was happening in the UK, and that went on for quite some time, and it was quite violent. And Wales is a very mining-based, was a very mining-based economy, and he was right up to the minute, knew all of the players, knew all of the issues. So it was really very, very interesting, and the fact that he was so warm and open.
Yeah, I've heard him interviewed recently, and he's very. He's very up on current affairs as well, so he's not he's not sort of hidden away in his little world by any stretch of the imagination.
He's certainly not, and he's certainly not Ozzy Osbourne, with the brain lost.
That's right, a missed opportunity to be intelligent.
Exactly. And look, just the way he talks. I didn't meet him when I flew to Auckland to see him, but I found out he was playing in Sydney, and I found out he was playing in Auckland a couple of days before that, so I flew to Auckland. Someone might suggest that I was a fan, but
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. No, you're the only person I've ever met that's been to Rochester.
And it was
I'm likely to meet.
Nice little town too, but to go to see a not quite top line Welsh musician.
I'm going to see one of the best Welsh musicians, rock musicians ever.
Yeah, in a small town about the size of Newcastle.
Which one? The only one there was. Did you see anything else in New York when you were?
Oh yeah. I love New York. I've been there a couple of times.
Did you see any other music?
No,
just New York itself.
Yeah. You can't.
I just thought you might have seen something else.
I should have. I thought back later, what on earth are you thinking?
Yeah.
But it was very much a Cale-focused trip.
Do re mi, your pubic hair surrounds my pillow.
Yeah. She had some great lyrics, didn't she?
That's great. Okay, so let's just go back. Welsh. Just go back to a bit about Cale. So he was born in Wales.
He was born in a town called Garnant in Wales, just another town. Yeah. And his father was a coal miner. So obviously that explains the interest in the strike. Yeah. His mother was a primary school teacher, and from the beginning his mother readied him to be a rebel.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Now, the official language of Wales, being the UK, is English.
Oh, is it?
She taught him Welsh and made him speak in Welsh.
That's interesting.
Which pissed his father off, like, no.
Because he's a Pommy.
Yeah. Well, no, but
he didn't want to be too rebel-y.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's not a word.
So, with a background like that, it's not surprising that he went on to be as innovative and iconoclastic with some of the things that he did. He had a great aptitude for music.
Yeah.
Which, it might be a bit stereotypical to say, well, that's Welsh, isn't it?
He was on the Welsh. He was in the Welsh choir, sung at the football.
Well, he was in the National Youth Orchestra of Wales when he was 13.
Viola.
No.
What was it? What did he learn to play? Oh, just out of interest.
It probably was viola.
It would have been, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Then he won a scholarship to study.
I reckon if you want to join an orchestra, play the viola.
No one else wants to.
No one wants to play the fucking viola. They want to play the violin. So I'm going to viola. I reckon I can get in. Anyway, sorry, John.
You've sussed out his rationale, haven't you? He moved to he won a scholarship to study at Goldsmith College in University of London.
Right.
So to win a scholarship in music is not a bad effort.
Right. No, I don't know the Goldsmith College personally, but I'm sure it's good.
Yeah. I know it by name.
Right.
Yeah. Certainly not an expert in musical colleges at London's universities.
No. It's been a pastime to study up on them.
He in '63, he went to New York to study with minimalist musicians. You've probably heard of them rather than heard their work. John Cage, Lamont Young, and Aaron Copland. He wrote a piece during that time working with these guys. A lot of drone stuff, a lot of really unusual stuff. You know, the stuff you really like.
The stuff I love.
Yep. His third work was called Plant Piece, and it involved screaming at a pot plant until it died.
That's fucking stupid.
The plant didn't die, but the audience wasn't impressed with that piece of work.
He did it live.
Yeah.
And he just screamed at the plant.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake, stupid.
Which there's some echoes of that in some of his later work when he's live. Some of his songs end in in screaming and excitable performances.
Okay, look, I'll be honest. I'd want a free choc top if I had to sit through that.
I'd buy you one.
What? What's he going to do? I think he's going to scream at that plant. Oh yeah, for how long? The whole show? Can I have another choc top? Yeah, all right.
You want some Jaffas?
I could be dead.
Obviously, in that environment, he met Lou Reed, and they started talking about a band made of all drone sounds. Now, probably, thankfully, they didn't carry that through, and they formed the Velvet Underground instead.
What are they thinking when they have this discussion?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, just thinking that's stupid. Yeah. Look, anyway, do go on. Yeah. So he's out of university. Was he in any other bands before he met up with Reed or those just mostly those sort of avant-garde type things?
No, he's very much in the avant-garde scene,
right?
And he met Reed in the art scene.
Oh, right.
And they started talking about a band. Got together.
They're in London, aren't we? We're in London, aren't we?
Yeah, we're in New York.
Oh, we're in New York.
Yep.
When did he go to New York?
He moved to New York in 83 to start 63 rather.
63
to study with the Minimalists.
Yeah, right. Okay, good on him.
Yeah, I know. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who can't see, you can probably hear the raised eyebrows from Jeffrey here.
Fucking hell.
So
I'm just sort of thinking it's a career called poverty.
Well, pretty much. That's exactly right. And we talked about in Velvet Underground, we talked about how none of them had any money and they shared derelict houses.
Yeah, I know. Just sort of thinking this is a way to stay broke.
Yeah. Well, that's very much the case.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so let's just quickly let's just have a little stop on Velvet Underground. You want to just quickly go through some of the Velvet Underground stuff? Where was he in Velvet Underground? He was one of the founding members. Was he one of the artistic powerhouses of the band?
Absolutely. Cale and Reed, the tension, a bit like Roxy Music with Eno and Ferry.
Right.
The tension between the two of them was what drove the Velvet Underground.
Okay.
Reed being very much a controlling type of individual, Cale left.
Okay, so Cale just left because Reed's a cranky old bastard.
Yep.
We know that for a fact.
Yeah. So believe it or not, when Cale left the Velvet Underground, the band moved to be more accessible.
Oh, is that right?
Now I can see that you're laughing there.
But even so, when you think about Reed, when he went solo, that white noise, what's it called?
White Light, White Heat.
Now that's not exactly what I would call accessible.
That was only their second album, so that's
okay.
That's straight after the first album. Accessible in the term.
The second album straight after the first one. Who would have fucking thought?
Who would have thought that? No. Some things like Sweet Jane. Yeah. Songs like that, which are straight rock and roll.
Yeah.
And a lot more accessible.
But Berlin is less accessible than the first one, Well,
we've talked about Berlin, haven't we?
Yeah, I know. Okay. Anyway, let's go back to Cale. Okay, he's left Velvet Underground. What's he doing?
Well, one quote just before we get on to Cale solo, Mo Tucker, the drummer from Velvet Underground,
yes.
who said she was talking about the band becoming more accessible. She said, John Cale is a lunatic, talking about the type of his lust for experimentation.
Yes.
Apparently one idea that they talked about was, what would the speakers sound like underwater?
Nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing.
It's one of those discussions. So Cale's styles, once he left the Velvet Underground, it's a smorgasbord. It's a lot of stuff. And I know that we were talking before and you've had to listen to some of it and you hated some of it and you just didn't like the rest. So
yeah. No, I didn't. When we get to it, I'll say, I've been listening to Artificial Intelligence. I quite like it. Mm-hmm. And I quite like it. Some of the other stuff I was just thinking, fucking hell.
Yeah. Look, but for those who don't want to go down the rabbit burrow of listening to.
In fact, what you have to do, Mick, is you have to put together a playlist of accessible and inaccessible. So I think you need to do a double Spotify playlist of stuff that people will like who are into more sort of traditional music, and one for people who are really digging the avant-garde stuff, and let them hear some of the best stuff that he does that's avant-garde. And I think that'll be an interesting experience for people to have a listen to both of those.
Okay, yep, I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Some of his music may seem a bit extreme, but look, it does, and it is. You know, and I know you've made your well-known comments about violas and things. So.
That's right. Anyway, all right. So we've left Velvet. We've gone to Velvet was in New York, wasn't it? So
yeah. So he's in New York,
yep.
And he's staying in New York.
He never came back.
He didn't. He's toured
Still
around,
there.
done some work in Europe, done a lot of work in London, but based in New York.
Yep.
Okay.
But still sees himself as Welsh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a Welshman living in New York.
Yeah.
He writes wonderful lyrics. It's both very poetic and emotive. And being Welsh, he loves Dylan Thomas as a poet. And in fact, he did an album about midway through his career with a Russian symphony orchestra called Words for the Dying, which is Dylan Thomas poetry set to music.
I listened to a bit of it.
And I know you didn't like it much, but...
I listened to a bit of it.
Yeah, I might put some of that into the avant-garde section.
Yeah, good idea.
But there are some wonderful songs which are very easily accessible. Things Close Watch, I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, obviously.
Sure.
Paris 1919.
Yeah, that's a good song.
It is, yes.
It's a very good song.
They'll all be on the accessible list, and so you can have a listen to those. When he left Velvets, he did a couple of albums which were a bit experimental, a bit this or that. They didn't really have any great style. But then the third album, he went to Paris 1919, which is revered by many Cale fans. It's very English, despite the fact that he's located in New York. It's got a pastoral feel, with songs like Antarctica Starts Here and Andalusia, and Graham Greene, a well-known British writer. Yes, yeah. And Paris 1919 itself, which is a ghost story.
Oh, is it? It's a good song.
It is. It's a lovely song.
I like that song.
Yeah, and the ghost casually appearing from the clock across the hall.
Oh, okay. Good on it.
Later, soon after that, he signed to Ireland.
Yeah.
And he did three of his most mainstream albums. Okay, Helen of Troy, Slow Dazzle, and Fear. And it's some of his most renowned and well-regarded work. Some really good stuff, and I'll pick a lot of that to put onto the accessible list. You won't find much there that's going to be on the avant-garde list.
Okay, fine.
Then he goes through to the late 80s, and he records Music for a New Society.
Yeah.
Now I know that you had that pegged as one of your top 10 favourite albums of all time.
It was in there. It got beat out by Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow.
Yeah. It would. Yeah. Music for a New Society. Probably the most consistent description of it is very bleak with very sparse arrangements. The label heard it and freaked out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They said it's got to have the album. A Cale experimental studio piece has already got to be a limited sales proposition.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
So they directed him to put a single on it, for God's sake.
Is that right?
Yeah. And so there's one song, the only song that's got a backing band. And it's a great song. I love it. But it's distinct from the rest of the album.
That's interesting. It sticks out like dog's balls.
Yeah. He's nothing if not a collaborator. So he's worked with a lot of people over the years, and we'll talk in a moment about Brian Eno, who he's worked with. But on Music for a New Society, he picked up a bunch of lyrics from Sam Shepard, the actor and playwright.
Oh yeah.
And they featured on some of the songs on Music for a New Society. Hard going if you're not really open-minded about music.
Even if you are, I think.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Music for a New Society is tough.
He makes some fantastic songs. There's no two ways about it. Some fantastic songs. But then he's just got that edge to him where he thinks, I don't want you to be too comfortable.
Yeah, and look, I think that's been to his detriment through his career. He's probably been true to his own beliefs.
Yeah,
in music,
that's right, and
but
which
it
is
cost
good.
him a lot.
That's right. It's going to cost you. So, if you want to, you'll always get invited to the good parties in New York, though. I dare say.
I would say so. Yes.
So, yeah. Look, he's a difficult to access because he's got such a discography that, and you really don't know where to dig into him because you dig in the wrong spot and you think, "Fuck me, what's that shit?"
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I do anyway.
And I can see how you would find that. Yeah. Look, I was in. My wife bought one of those new kitchen Alexa things, where you just talk to it and it plays music.
Yeah.
And I said, play John Cale. And I must say, I was just testing it out to see what it would play. And it played a really good cross-section of stuff. And I listened to it and I thought, wow, this is nowhere near as inaccessible as I thought it would be.
Did that come out of Spotify?
I think so, yes.
If it came out of Spotify, actually does do some good playlists if you just say play.
Yeah.
It does actually do some good playlists.
Yeah, yeah. So
and not necessarily just, the hits, sort of different things.
Yeah, that's what impressed me.
Not that you'll come across too many hits for old Joddy boy.
He's certainly not.
He's not a hit machine.
He's not a hit machine. He never bothers the singles charts. He's done several covers of the one song, "Heartbreak Hotel," the Elvis Presley song.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember you playing that to me when you had the record when we were both relatively young. What year would that have been?
1974.
I remember you playing that to me,
and I can imagine you didn't like it.
You were very, very excited to play that to me. I wasn't quite as excited about it as you were, to be brutally honest with you.
I can see that.
I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, but realistically, I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Hard work.
That version, the angsty rock version.
That was the live album, wasn't it?
June 174.
That's
it.
Yeah. That's it.
And it did have some vestiges of the "Scream at a Plant Until It Dies" period of his career. But then he did it again later.
Yeah.
And on another live album called "Fragments of a Rainy Season." And he did it as a piano torch song. And it is absolutely beautiful.
See, that album is very accessible.
It is, yes.
Very accessible. You can easily listen to that album without feeling like you need to stab yourself in the eyeball with a long pin.
Yeah. And he's quite capable of stripping his songs back and making them. It was an acoustic concert. I mean, he played a bit of guitar, and that was electric, of course. But the bulk of it was piano.
That's right.
And he stripped his songs back, and it was. I've heard that album described as a young person's guide to John Cale.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because you can listen to it, and it's stripped away the angst. It's stripped away the let's do something just for the confrontational benefit of it.
When you've seen him live, has he ever done any Screaming at Plant type stuff?
No,
right.
No, he has finished a couple of songs with sort of screaming as he winds the song down, but it's more. A trick than a whole treatment of a song or a series of songs.
I saw him walk on this, just doing a bit of a search. I was looking at a video, and he was doing Waiting for the Man, and he was just walking onto the stage, and he was just walking on with a banana.
Oh, right, yeah.
Waiting for the Man, which obviously is a Velvet song.
Of course. He did in the early 90s. He worked with Brian Eno on an album called Wrong Way Up, which that album.
Yeah.
Very, very, well, and that's Eno's influence. Very, very accessible songs. Certainly not pop, but bouncy rhythms, nice bits of moody piano and keyboards. Very, very Eno. And Eno's moderated his sound a lot on that particular album, and that's got some nice stuff, particularly Cordoba, which he introduces. He makes up what the songs are about in concert and introduces them all different ways. I've seen him introduce the song. It's about an urban terrorist in Spain.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can't see that myself. So I suspect it's Mr. Cale having fun with the audience.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I've seen him a lot.
Does his writing usually have? Does his songs usually have a lot of meaning to them, or are they more like your Reno type of song, or are they what are they?
It's as I said, they're poetic and emotive. Where he writes a love song, I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. Never win and never lose. There isn't much to choose between the right and wrong. Nothing lost and nothing gained, but things aren't quite the same between you and me.
It's good.
It's nice stuff, and when he writes like that, it's great. Much of his music is in the Eno vein. Yeah, just write something that goes with this thumping great piece of music that I've got here. The Dylan Thomas, he took the poems as they were written and put the music all around them.
Yeah, fair enough.
He wrote a song about Dennis Wilson. He called it Mr. Wilson. I believe you, Mr. Wilson. And even though you're writing about the surf, I know you're thousands of miles away.
Talk to me about Songs for Drella.
Songs for Drella. Andy Warhol died in end of 80s. I'd have to check the date. Last year of the 80s or 90. And he and Reed got together. They reconciled for a period of time. They had one of those weird relationships where they got on each other's nerves really quickly, sometimes measured on your watch.
But let's face it, I think Reed, is probably... Reed has always been known as, the scratchy character. He's always been a bit of a bastard. He's
very difficult, very controlling, but Cale is also very much an A-type personality, but that manifests in a different way. Songs for Drella is an album about their relationship with Andy Warhol and in and around the Velvet Underground. Okay,
what's Drella?
Drella is the nickname in the art scene for Andy Warhol. It's a combination of Cinderella and Dracula.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah, and the reason for Dracula is that Andy Warhol would soak up all sorts of influences and use them in his art. So Dracula, and people felt that in some cases probably their perceptions were aided by drugs.
Yeah, I know.
That it was soaking up their personalities.
A blood-sucking fairy tale sort of thing.
Well, exactly right, yeah. But Songs for Drella, you could really go a long way. You could have a listen to Songs for Drella. I think we should put a single link for Songs for Drella on there.
Yeah, do that.
Because that actually has that balance between Cale and Reed doing very, very succinct songs. Some good rock, solid guitar and piano together, which they hadn't done since Waiting for the Man.
Yeah.
So some very, very well-written songs, succinct, great lyrics, almost apologetic from both of them, talking about the various things the various incidents in their lives, interacting with Andy Warhol.
Right.
And almost apologising for, that Reed said, sorry I couldn't be there when you died.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. And thinking back...
When did Warhol die? Do you remember? I don't remember.
89, 90.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to check that date.
Was he poor?
He certainly wasn't as rich as the sales of his artwork now would suggest.
Yeah,
he was
right.
Constantly scrabbling for money.
Yeah. It's sad, isn't it? There's so many artists are like that. Where they're great artists in their life and yet poor, and then everybody makes a mozza after they cark it.
Vincent van Gogh.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Toulouse-Lautrec.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And they're all scrabbling for bucks.
Yeah.
Would have been happy if they could have got a couple of bucks.
Well, Toulouse-Lautrec would have spent it with whores.
Well, only to draw them, of course.
Oh, that's right. That is right. All right, so we'll put a link to Songs for Drella. So we've got a couple of playlists coming out of this. We've got Songs for Drella. We've got Accessible. We've got the other, Inaccessible.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of things in there. So let's just say we're sitting around about 1990. What goes on for the last 30 years as far as Cale is concerned?
Well, Cale's output in recent years has diminished. He's not a big sales proposition. and obviously that's something that you need to be.
He would almost have to, self-release, on his own album or something like that, on his own label if he wanted to. I would have thought.
But like a lot of artists, he does a lot of soundtrack work. So and the way he approaches music, it lends itself very well.
He's got an album which he's already pre-done for soundtracks, hasn't he? Hasn't he got an album out called something about soundtracks, music for soundtracks or something like that?
That's Eno.
Is that Eno? No, that's Eno as well. No, I thought I saw one for Cale as well. Maybe I made that up.
Yeah. You could have.
Could have. Who knows?
It could be there. Maybe.
If I find it and you don't know about it, do I get a beer?
You do.
All right, cool. I'm going to look.
Soundtracks for John Cale. He worked with Reed. They do have they did have an interesting relationship. We've seen that with a lot, even some of our friends, who don't get on and then do get on, and yeah, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So they can get together for a short period of time. Reed fired Cale from the Velvet Underground.
Oh, did he actually fire him? Did he?
Yeah.
Was he the boss? Was he?
Yeah. Well, he saw it as his band, and everyone else did. It was pretty much Cale goes or I go.
Okay.
However, in 1972, they did some concerts together in Paris at Le Bataclan. And Cale and Reed played together ad hoc. I have a bootleg of John Cale, which purports to feature Reed. It says on the credits that it's Reed playing guitar on Waiting for the Man. And I asked Cale about it.
Were there any terrorists there when they were playing?
No. God, you have one bad night.
One night. You blow the fucking theatre up and everybody's talking about it forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Eat, Kiss,
Eat,
music
Kiss.
for films. For films by Andy Warhol.
Yes, but that's not general. I thought you were talking about a mix and match smorgasbord stuff. So he's taken Andy Warhol's films and put some music with it.
I'm just saying, it's an album that he wrote to put music to films.
That's soundtrack work last time I heard.
Well, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, well.
Anyway,
I'll still buy you a beer.
They're not that great, though. Have you listened to that album?
Once. It's not
well done.
Soundtracks aren't exciting.
I take my hat off to you, sir. Well done. You listened to that album because I listened to 2 tracks of it on the way over here for 15 seconds.
Yes.
I think.
Well, I know how tolerant you are of different types of music.
I am very
indeed,
tolerant. Yeah. Very tolerant. I love Vigilante Lover. Vigilante Lover. I like that song. No, good. Okay. Well, Dying on the Vine. What about Dying on the Vine?
Dying on the Vine I like, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. That's look, I don't think much of artificial intelligence. I think that was a period in his career where he was taking far too much cocaine and was doing stuff for to get it done.
Okay.
Dying on the Vine is a fabulous song. The rest of the album's a bit sloppy.
All right, okay. All right. Well, that's the only one I really like.
Well, that's all a little bit sad, isn't it?
Oh, no, I don't mind Fear. That's all right. Paris 1919.
Yep.
Academy in Peril.
Academy in Peril. It's
sorry.
No. Academy in Peril is very hard going. I would regard that personally as probably the hardest of Cale's. He left the Velvet Underground and he jumped straight into it with another minimalist musician called Terry Riley.
Yeah, right.
And it's pretty hard going. It uses a lot of recorded stuff, a lot of recorded conversations. I don't like it very much.
No, he should have just gone and joined the Welsh choir again.
Well, that would have been good. He could have dragged Andy Warhol with him.
Yeah, and they could have done a few some
paintings,
Welsh ditties. They could have gone to the rugby union, sung a few songs.
Yeah.
Never Walk Alone or whatever they sang. Anyway. What about the Church of Anthrax?
Church of Anthrax, same sort of thing. Really struggling at the beginning. Very.
He has some interesting titles to his albums.
You can't go past the title, can you?
No.
And the one after that, which is Vintage Violence.
Vintage Violence, Church of Anthrax, Academy in Peril, Paris 1999, pretty. Words for the Dying.
Yep.
Songs for Drella. What was the other one I saw? There's another one that. Music for a New Society. They're all sort of grand titles, I think.
They are, yeah. Well, Cale believed
What about
very
the
much
Shifty Adventures of Nookie Wood?
it's one of his latest stuff. I'm not really excited by much of by anything he's done since about 2004. I'm afraid, which was Hobo Sapiens.
Hobo Sapiens sneaks in as all right or not?
Oh, that's a wonderful album.
Okay.
It's a late career resurgence.
Oh, excellent. Hobo Sapiens. Well, I better have a listen to Hobo Sapiens.
I would urge you to do that. That actually probably takes you back to probably his most accessible stuff that he's done. Yeah.
All right, I'll listen to Hobo Sapiens, folks. Yeah. Listen to Hobo Sapiens when you. We'll put a link in the show notes to that one. So we've got Songs for Drella, shit music, good music, and Hobo Sapiens for you to have a listen to get yourself into Cale. And if you get into Cale, make sure you email Mick and say, "Hi Mick, I am too a Cale fan. Would you like to come to my house and listen to some Cale with me?" And he'd love to come over and listen to Cale with you and have some fascinating conversations. Wouldn't you, mate?
I would love that, yeah. Wherever you are.
Particularly if you're in New York.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm on the plane.
Yep.
No, we're not allowed to go out of Australia. Are we allowed out of Australia now?
Look, I'm not sure. We're not allowed out of the Fat Cave at the moment. But I'm thinking we'll give it about 6 weeks. And once the Omicron virus settles and half the population of Australia's died, I reckon we can emerge victorious like cockroaches.
That's not a bad idea.
And go, and we shall say, we are here, we are triple vaxxed, and we are all powerful.
And ready to rock and roll.
Ready to rock and roll. And we'll be playing Songs of Drella to everybody who cares to listen.
You've got me. That sounds great.
Did he ever get married? John
yes,
Cale?
a number of times.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Why do they bother?
It would be challenging with someone with a questing personality like that.
I know. And I will I'm pretty sure I've done it before, but I will put the link to the concert where he's in a skirt. And it's not a kilt, Mick. It's not a kilt. It's a genuine skirt. He's got knobbly knees.
Well, I don't think knees are a prerequisite to play some of the music he does.
No, I'm just saying. So they did concerts at Bataclan.
Yeah, he's done,
and didn't get shot by terrorists.
That's absolutely true,
which is good.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Yeah, that's certainly the way that I would like to play at Bataclan, or even go to Bataclan for that matter. He's done lots of other shows, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
give me a couple.
Well, when I saw him at the Bottom Line. Okay, he's playing "Waiting for the Man" in New York. When I flew over to New York,
right.
He was playing the song "Waiting for the Man," and you know the rhythm,
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. And the band was keyed up to keep playing the rhythm on a signal, obviously. So he launches into a 10-minute monologue of a cup of coffee with Augusto Pinochet.
What?
Have another cup of coffee, Augusto.
Really?
And he's shouting at Augusto Pinochet and having an argument with him.
Oh. Okay.
A 10-minute impromptu.
That's interesting.
It's very, very interesting.
Augusto Pinochet. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Why a Pinochet, I wonder?
Well, he's very political, Cale. He's very much into whatever's happening across the world.
And Pinochet was, he was a friendly kind of guy.
Yeah.
Mates with the CIA, got him into power.
Yeah, they loved him. Yeah.
And killed all these residents, all these people. Friendly fellow, I think.
Yeah.
Liked a beer.
Well, and who doesn't?
Yeah.
There's a non-Cale feature on that. The support act of when I saw Cale at the Bottom Line was a black a cappella band. Now, we don't get a lot of those in Sydney, Australia. It was 5 guys, only voices, no instruments. And it was just an eye-opener. I'd never seen anything like that before. I mean, I knew it existed and I knew what it was, but to
Did they do all the instrument type shit?
Yeah, everything. Yeah. It was really quite extraordinary. And that year I saw Cale in Sydney and then saw him in New York, and he was I knew his music.
So you've done New York, Rochester, Sydney, Auckland. Anywhere else?
Sydney a few times over the years.
Okay.
Yep. So when I first saw him, I'd never seen him in full cry. I knew his music by then, but reaching a crescendo of sound and stopping, really quite. We've talked about in the past how a live show shouldn't just be a reproduction of your album.
Indeed.
And Cale does not just reproduce his album.
Not if he's doing a half-hour chat about Pinochet.
No,
Pinochet.
Yeah, well, he doesn't. But the music was still going all the while he was talking, so that was great. And just the way he played various songs, and as I say, dun 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 dun, end of the song. So he builds it up, stop. Mainly piano-based, some songs on guitar, and that's been pretty much the way he plays. I've seen him with a band and without a band.
Yeah, right.
And he's really very good. When I saw him in Auckland, again, I mentioned that he's very accessible, and there's a fellow who was his support act, a guy by the name of Chris Knox, who was pretty much New Zealand rock royalty. I know that that's a fairly minor province, but he was involved with the Flying Nun label and a lot of
not
the band,
the Flying Nun,
not Sally Field, no, the Flying Nun label in Auckland, and a lot of bands that came over to Sydney and played the circuit and so on. And so Chris Knox was an elder statesman even then of this. So Chris Knox comes up on stage and plays a Cale song.
Oh, really?
In the support act, he played Ghost Story from Vintage Violence. But what's really good about it is he says, I know you're not supposed to play a song by the person you're supporting, but I love this song, and Cale told me the chords on the way in from the airport in the car.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So Cale helped him play a song as a support.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I thought that's really the opposite of Don't Meet Your Heroes.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah,
okay.
It is, yeah. So his live songs, he does a lot of. He's done a lot of live albums over the years. And
just back when you talk about live, where did you see him in Sydney?
The Enmore.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. The Enmore both times. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's still a lot of people to see. It's 2,000 people, so isn't it?
And full.
Oh, there you go.
Every time I see him, he's certainly not a big money artist, but never seen empty seats at a Cale show.
Did he have merch?
Yeah, he did actually. And unlike another, I've never seen any other artist do it, but an artist at that stage of his career, he did an album signing.
Did he?
Out in the lobby after the show. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And I chatted to him, and he was open. And
did he remember you?
No, but he remembered the show the shows that I was talking about.
Didn't you go and say, it's Mick?
Yeah.
Oh, Mick, how are you, mate? We had lunch.
Yeah, well, he's in a Welsh accent. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about the miners' strike, didn't we?
40 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So
his live albums.
Live, that's where he comes alive. Right, he's done a lot of live stuff, and he's got one song that only ever appears on live albums, both bootlegs and legitimate albums, and it's a song called Autobiography, which has got a line in it. I never wrote a song called Cocaine. I never wrote a song called After Midnight. I come from Wales. You can call me John. As compared to JJ.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I get it. JJ Cale.
Well, I'm so glad you do.
JJ Cale, folks.
Yes, JJ Cale, who did write a song called
After
Cocaine.
Midnight, we're going to let it all hang out. Dun, dun, dun. Cocaine. Okay.
Cale started the trend, or was one of the first artists to start the trend of playing his fans' favourite albums in full. At the beginning of this millennium, he in London played Paris 1919 in full.
Okay.
In London. So many artists have since gone on to do that. I saw Bob Mould in Sydney doing Copper Blue by Sugar, and lots of others. So Elton John has done the same sort of thing. So and there's a list as long as your arm, the names of which all escape me right at the moment.
I demand you give me 6.
Later. with the beer.
Did he ever bring out a triple album?
A triple album?
Because you know how you and I love triple albums. I just wonder if he brought out a triple album of music that like drone-y type music. Because I reckon a triple album of drone music would just be awesome.
That would be a hit, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I reckon that's what he's got to bring out next.
Yep. Look, I'm just looking through everything that we're talking about here, and it really is John Cale is not for everybody.
No.
And look, I can see that, and I can see even some of the stuff. And I'm an absolute Cale tragic, but there are people who make me look like a neophyte, who make me look like I've got no idea. You go on the internet, and there are people who complain about the punctuation, where the full stop should be on a soundtrack album that he released in 1994, that sort of thing.
Look, we're the jack of all trades, master of none, although you know a lot more about stuff than I do, but realistically, every single album that we touch on, someone knows, reams and reams and reams, and would love to tell you all about it.
Yeah.
And we're never going to be at that sort of crazy heights. But we like to give people a flavour.
Yeah.
Dip your toe into John Cale. That's what we say.
I certainly hope that we've done that, and some of the playlists, it really is, any description doesn't do him justice.
Yeah. In fact, we'll call this show "Dipping Your Toe into John Cale."
Nice.
Or sticking your toe up John Cale. One or the other.
Let's not do that.
Okay.
Did a lot of production. You asked what he's been doing in.
He's been producing.
Look, in some of the most influential albums of all time: "Raw Power" by the Stooges.
Yeah.
"Horses" by Patti Smith.
Oh.
Yeah, so he
didn't do that yesterday, though, did he? That's a little while ago.
Did not do that yesterday. No. But that's what he's a multi-talented, multi-instrumental sort of guy. He doesn't stand still. What's your favourite album? My next one. Right?
Yeah,
always looking forward, always looking to do something new, and he doesn't impose. He's done over 50 albums in his career for different people, and he's approach to production is not to control or impose his views. So some people, you hear about the English production houses, back in the early 80s, Stock Aitken and Waterman. Didn't matter who sang, it was still Stock Aitken and Waterman doing it, right?
That's right. Or the BBC back in the day, they dictated how your sound was.
Absolutely. Well, Cale doesn't do that. Cale goes the other way, a bit like Eno, goes the other way and helps the artist to draw out what they want to say and think about how to communicate what's in their head down onto the vinyl or onto the digital pages these days.
Sure.
He himself, he's reasonable about his stature and his place in the rock world. He acknowledges himself that some of the contracts he's got from bands are simply from people who want the status of having produced by John Cale on their liner notes.
I'd take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would not be. I would be very happy to have someone say, "Produced by the Phatman."
Yeah.
Not that the Phatman's got any fucking clue how to produce anything, but anyway.
Well, exactly. Well, you wouldn't have Mick producing it.
No.
One last thing, I'll show you this, and you can go ooh ah.
Ooh ah.
Yeah. Now this is just a good example of. There's a book, folks, and you've heard me talk about Victor Bockris before, who's written about lots of people, Keith Richards, Lou Reed, and so on and so on. Way back when, 30 years ago, he did with John Cale. He ghostwrote Cale's autobiography in a book called "What's Welsh for Zen." And back then, it was pretty expensive. It was, if memory serves me right, it was up to $100 for the book. And Jeff's just having a look through it now. Every page is graphic designed. Text variations, pictures, drawings, all sorts of things. It's certainly not a Methuen Press printed history of anything at all.
Is that his wife? No, I don't think it is.
I would check the credits of the photo.
I think it's probably, I don't know what it is. It's a little girl.
Yeah, well. But the book, you can see that it really is an interesting. It's a piece of work, and just
only
out of
cost
interest,
£20 in the UK.
Well, there you go. So, yeah. You know what it's worth now?
No.
I went and had a look the other day because I'm interested in how some of these works of art are appreciated. It's worth $300.
Really?
That book, because it's pretty much in mint.
Oh, the corner's a bit chewed. It's a little bit.
Well, that's where I chewed it when I was reading it. But other than that, it's all right.
It's not too bad, but I'll give you $250.
Yeah, $275.
No, mate. No, $250's rich enough.
$250 and a beer.
I'll give you a beer.
So yeah, we should actually do an episode one day where we talk about all the stuff that goes around rock and roll. Yeah, the books, the artworks, merch, and so on and so on. Yeah.
Yep. How to get really expensive T-shirts. Where to get really expensive T-shirts? Go to a concert. That's where you get them.
That's right. Yeah.
I want to do a show on triple albums. I've just thought about it.
Yeah, but it'd be short and boring.
No, it'd be fantastic because we'll have so much fun. There's so many great triple albums out there.
No, there aren't. All Things Must Pass is the only one I can think of that's any good.
Woodstock.
Woodstock would make a great single album.
There is some Richie Havens, first side one. It goes on and on, doesn't it? Anyway, I think we might say thank you, John. It's been wonderful knowing you for this little dip in your toe, our toe dip into the world of John Cale. And we look forward to seeing you at our next podcast. Remember, we're available on all the good places where all good podcasts are found. Leave us a review. Send us an email, Mick and the Phatman. All the contact details are in the show notes. Mick will have those playlist stuff for you as soon as he can, and we look forward to any comment that you have about the John Cale podcast. Have a listen to the Droney one. That's where I'm going to. And look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks very much, everybody.
Thanks, Mick. Thanks, Phatman. I feel better already.